Miss England contest has revealed it could restore its bikini competition after 20 years of self-censorship. The pageant used to feature a swimwear round for budding beauties to showcase their physical fitness, but it was banned in 2002 amid claims of sexism. Well, earlier this year, Miss Northern Ireland ditched its bikini round over concerns it was distracting from the true meaning of the contest, which suggests to me they didn't understand the true meaning of the contest. But Angie Beasley, the director of Miss England, says she's refusing to bow down to the woke brigade as she mulls the big decision, adding, "It's great to be empowering women to feel confident in their own skin." So is this firebrand feminism or just Stone Age sexism? And what, frankly, is so offensive about bikinis? Well, I'm joined by the former Miss USA, Sarah Rose Summers, and Ivana Knoll, the former Miss Croatia, and the feminist campaigner and current Miss North London. I've given her that title, Julie Bindle. All right, Julie, let me start with you, Miss North London, which I'm sure you would have won if you'd ever entered. What's your problem with this? I never understood why they took it away. I thought the whole point of beauty pageants was the name on the tin suggests it was about physical beauty, and we got to celebrate the beautiful female form. Who cares?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with celebrating beauty. There's nothing wrong with women's own definition of beauty. The problem is pitting women against each other competitively and then deciding who is conventionally attractive in the sense of the very sexist stereotypes.
Well, hang on, and women.
That girls grow up under the cosh of.
And women used to watch them and still do.
Of course, but there's no...
Why are you singling out men?
There's little point putting... Because there's little point using women as a smokescreen to suggest that... Because, of course, I agree that women have the right to do what they wish with their own bodies. There's no point suggesting that this is about women and women's empowerment and agency when this comes from men. This comes from the directive that women's worth should be measured with conventional beauty. Like I say, I have no issue with women.
What is okay? Let me challenge you on this. What is wrong with celebrating conventional beauty? I used to love watching Miss World and those things.
Absolute. Look, the competitiveness of these beauty competitions is sexism on steroids.
They're competitions
it's
to see who's the most beautiful.
Against each other and saying
it's the whole point of it.
Women lose and women win. And this is exactly how women are socialised, to feel worth less compared to conventionally
Julie,
attractive
you don't
women.
believe this.
A beauty standard that is set by men. Without sexism, we wouldn't have Miss World.
Last time I checked...
And also, if you think about what happens in these competitions,
Julie,
there are so many women...
Last time I checked, millions of women watch these competitions on TV too. They love them.
It's irrelevant.
Why is that irrelevant?
What I'm talking about is because it's about the message that it sends to girls, to women in society, that this is something that happens
you have to wear loads of clothes, otherwise
and not to men.
So you can only be in a beauty pageant if you wear head-to-toe clothing that covers all your flesh. This sounds like something out of North Korea or Saudi Arabia.
Themselves. No. Beauty pageants in and of themselves are a symbol of sexism. I'm not suggesting banning them. I'm not suggesting locking up those that organise them or profit from them, such as Donald Trump, of course, that well-known pro-feminist man who owned Miss Universe. The stories about the sexual harassment, sexual assault and terrible treatment of women in these pageants have been circulating for decades.
OK, look,
and we mustn't forget all of the reports from women about what happens to them during these pageants.
Let me go to someone who won Miss USA and Miss Universe, Sarah Rose Summers. Sarah, you've been laughing away listening to this because apparently you're a tormented victim and this is demeaning and sexist and male
I didn't
pigs
say that.
like... Well, you basically implied that it's only men like me who are, being sexist pigs for watching it.
I didn't say that.
Well, OK, you implied it was a male issue because men are objectifying women like Sarah. So, Sarah, did you feel... Well, Sarah, did you feel objectified and a victim?
I did not. I think it's just so important in this feminist, female empowerment movement that we support each other's dreams and goals and aspirations. And no one ever forced me to compete in Miss Nebraska USA, Miss Universe. That was something I chose to do. And I started competing in pageants without a swimsuit competition. back when I was just 10 years old, I was super shy. It brought me public speaking skills, interview skills, taught me confidence, how to hold myself on a stage and in a swimsuit. And long term, I believe the swimsuit competition is a positive for Miss contestants specifically, because it really did teach me a healthy lifestyle. It taught me to long term sustain. You know, I never neglected my sweet tooth. I love my sweets, but I found ways I enjoyed moving my body, and that's not something that came natural to me either. I think that's so important. When people hear that I'm pro swimsuit competition, they instantly think, oh, well, you know, look at you. You don't have to work for it by any means. Well, that is completely false. Genetics have definitely been against me. I've watched my mom yo-yo diet and diet her whole life. And so I knew firsthand that I wanted to be proactive and stay fit. So I enjoy workout classes and things of that nature. So for myself and most everyone, it's a very close-knit group of women. You know, we're all very like-minded. We have big, lofty goals and are very philanthropic focused. So some of my best friends I've met through pageantry, and I would say that all of us would unanimously agree that the competitions that are in Miss USA, Miss Universe have only strengthened our confidence.
Okay, I like that, and I think that's exactly what my feedback has been. I've actually judged one of these things, Miss UK, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Interesting.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a wonderful.
Now, my judges panel.
Yeah, I thought it was
It's
a wonderful.
fun. My judges panel was fully made of women as well.
Right. I mean, I just thought it was a celebration of feminist empowerment, frankly. Ivana, you are not exactly shy. We see a lot of you on your Instagram, and you're wearing, I think, your swimsuit as we speak. What do you make of this? I mean, do you think there's any merit to the argument that perhaps it is a bit demeaning for women to, in a beauty pageant, have to wear swimsuits?
Dear Piers, I cannot even think. I cannot believe in 2023 we're discussing about this. I am a bikini owner of, as you see, and first of all, bikini is part of life. Even every grandpa has a bikini. Guys wearing bikini. Why guys are not sexualized to wearing men's shorts? It's totally different. Men can be hormonal crazy about women wearing completely leggings and covered. It doesn't need to be bikini for sexualism, you know. He can say, oh, this girl is hot, even full dress. It's how we behave and how we allow guys to behave with us. If I say, hey, I don't care about your hormones, I'm wearing bikini and I want to be respected, I'm respected. And girl who is coming to a competition for Miss World, she need to be confident and she don't care about guy who is thinking with hormones. I don't think this girl should even be in the competition, because if she's shy and she's afraid to be sexualized, then this poor girl should be in a living room and watch on TV screen.
I completely agree. Let me bring Julie back. Julie, isn't this the point? You don't have to enter these things. They are a competition. I used to judge Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent. We'd have all sorts of people on with all sorts of talents. No one was forcing them to be there. There's no gun to these young ladies' heads. They're on it because they want to show off their beauty. And last time I checked, we are allowed to celebrate the beautiful female form, as indeed we are to celebrate the beautiful male form. I mean, you're looking at it.
I had your producer told me that I would be debating with two women about this, I would have chosen not to come on the programme, because I will not argue with women about the choices they make. My argument is against the men that set these conventional beauty standards, that impose these standards on girls and women growing up, most of whom feel that they are being judged and that they are being demeaned.
They've literally just said the complete opposite.
More or less than their own
Julie,
beauty
I think,
standards.
honestly, I say this with great
the competitiveness between women is the worst thing possible, when actually we need to stick together. So I wouldn't have chosen to come on the programme had I known I was debating with these two women, because my argument isn't with them, it's with the men that uphold these standards.
Right, but what you're conveniently ignoring is we've had two women who've taken part in these pageants who both say that there's no problem The women all enjoy being on it. They like a bit of friendly competition. They're all supportive of each other. They don't feel remotely bothered about men objectifying them because as many women watch it as men. I really don't see what the problem is.
And there are thousands and thousands of testimonies from women all over the world since the 1960s that have been in beauty pageants that talk about hideous misogynistic treatment by men, where they talk about rape and sexual assault, sexual harassment, and being thrown away and discarded once they get to the age of 27, which is the age limit, and being told that they're over the hill. So there are stories that we haven't heard tonight, and I would tell your viewers, maybe go and do a little bit of Google research and have a look at the stories.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. How do you
tonight.
feel then about public beaches, high streets where women march around in bikinis, especially...
My issue isn't with nakedness or nudity. My issue is with the value placed upon women competing with each other for who has the perfect in the eyes of sexist men that judge women by their
come
looks,
off it.
body,
Honestly, I've
and
got to
physique.
say, Julie,
My
I think
issue
that
is
such
not
a...
with nakedness.
Julie,
and
I think
nudity.
it's such a lame thing to say that it's just sexist men that watch these things. They don't. I know loads of women who love watching beauty pageants and admiring the beauty, as they do, by the way, when they buy women's magazines and see beautiful women on the cover,
like
often
I
very
say,
famous.
I don't want to hold women up.
No, you don't want to blame any women for
up
anything. It's all
as a
ugly men like me. It's my fault.
For sexism.
Listen, we've got to end it there, but I make no apology.
With
Julie, I make no apology for admiring the beautiful female form, including yourself and my two other guests.
And I wouldn't ask you to, Piers.
I know. I'm just offering my appreciation of Miss North London. Is that okay?
And Julie, I think it's important to note, like I had said earlier, that my panel of judges was solely women that were successful in their industry. So I wasn't strutting my stuff up there, answering on-stage questions to men, as you keep mentioning. Thankfully, I do believe
I would say, though, look, we've got to leave it there, Sarah, but I would say, honestly, Sarah Rose, I would say, just because men like watching beauty pageants doesn't make us all a bunch of sexist pigs. You can appreciate a beautiful woman in the most non-sexist manner
I never used the
possible.
term pig.
You could just say you like
beauty.
The term pig. I admire beauty. I like it in all guises. I like a beautiful Arsenal football player as much as I admire a beautiful woman at a beauty pageant. Thank you, Julie. We've reached a point of agreement, I think, or at least acknowledgement. I'm allowed to like beautiful things. Lovely to speak to all three of you. Thank you very much indeed.